How do you measure a good year in year one with CJ Stroud?
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, I think if we're I don't do it statistically necessarily, where it's like if he gets 3,500 yards and 20 touchdowns or whatever, it's a good year. I do think maybe probably if there's a statistic that I would look at, it would be turnovers. You know, D'Amico Ryans and most head coaches obviously are big on protecting the football and making smart decisions, and that's been a strength of CJ Stroud. Certainly at Ohio State, he only threw 6 interceptions, something like that, this past season, and they were throwing the ball all over the place. So CJ has shown that he's a pretty decent decision maker. He's a pretty quick study. I think it's really just all about progress and the competitiveness of the team. You know, if I'm looking at wins, you know, if the Vegas total for the Texans is 6.5. You know, I think if the Texans are around that total, 6-7 wins, I think that's going to be viewed as probably, at least in terms of the standings for the Texans, a nice improvement over last year where they only won 3 games all year. But I think it's really, you know, a successful season for CJ Stroud is probably one of those things, Michael, that you just know it if you see it, more so than, hey, what does the team need to do? Now, if the team's 2-15 or something like that, then that probably went hand in hand with CJ Stroud having a pretty poor season. I do think they're going to be a much improved team defensively, and I think that's going to help CJ Stroud quite a bit, because there's not going to be an immense pressure on him to have to go out and score 30 points every weekend in order to win games. They've got some playmakers on defense, and as you point out, D'Amico Ryans has been a really good defensive coordinator. He's got a good staff. They've invested a lot of draft equity on some really good young players on that side of the ball: Will Anderson, Jalen Petrie, Derek Stingley Jr. So I think a good year for CJ is going to be one of those things where, as long as he looks like he's continuing to advance, he's not making the same mistakes throughout the year, and he's protecting the football. For a rookie, I think that'll be pretty good. There will come a time where CJ is going to be asked to do things like Joe Burrow and Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and guys like that, but this is not that year.